Imagine a quiet small-town girl, just 16 years old, who disappears from school one afternoon without a word, a note, or a single trace. The police wrote it off as a runaway, but her father knew in his heart she wouldn't have left without a reason. For 5 long years, a town's peaceful facade hides a terrible secret, until a forgotten classroom, a hidden tin box, and a single trembling confession unravel everything everyone thought they knew, forcing a community to finally confront what they chose not to see. Before we dive into this chilling story, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of our deep dives into the unexplained. Introduction. 5 years ago, a quiet 16-year-old girl named Lupita Garcia disappeared from the tranquil town of Tepoztlan, Morelos, without a note, a goodbye, or a trace. The police classified her as a runaway, but her father, Don Manuel Garcia, never believed it. He knew his daughter. She was the kind of person who wrote notes for everything, even a reminder to buy milk. Now, 5 years later, the soft, melancholic beauty of spring in Tepoztlan, with its jacaranda trees painting the streets purple, is a bitter reminder of the girl who never returned. Part 1. A Father's Silent Grief. Don Manuel Garcia sits in an old classroom at Tepoztlan High, a chisel in his hand, slowly shaping a piece of wood. The old student desk creaks as he presses the chisel head down hard on a termite-eaten leg. The sound of splintering wood echoes through the empty space. He's been a carpenter for 30 years, but in recent years he has become a carpenter who works to forget his grief, not to earn a living. The hands that once skillfully built his daughter's first cradle now only repeat lifeless movements like a machine. He is stuck in a spring day 5 years ago, a season that never passes for him. He still lives in the small adobe house on the edge of the hill where his wife died of cancer when Lupita was just 8 years old. The year Lupita disappeared, Don Manuel just froze, no tears, no anger, just sitting silently in his daughter's room until morning. On the nightstand, he found her open diary, an unfinished poem, and a red jacket carefully hung up. The police said she ran away. He didn't believe it. Lupita would never go anywhere without a word, and she took no money with her. Who runs away like that, he asked countless times. Part 2. The Diary's Hidden Page. The phone rang late that afternoon, its sound startling him out of his quiet routine. It was the principal of Tepoztlan High, his voice polite but hesitant. Don Manuel, the school is renovating the old classroom area. We need someone to dismantle the old wooden cabinets, especially in the literature classroom, the one that Raúl used to teach in years ago. Don Manuel's heart tightened at the name Raúl, not out of suspicion, but because Lupita had mentioned him so often. Teacher Raúl says my poems have soul, she used to tell him. He remembered her bright eyes as she talked about her creative writing club. The memories, sharp and painful, made the simple request heavy with meaning. He accepted the job. When he got to the old classroom, he began his work slowly and methodically, dismantling the wooden cabinets. Tucked away on a forgotten shelf, he found a rusted tin box, the kind children use to hide treasures. Inside, he found a small leather-bound diary with a faded ribbon. He opened it and saw his daughter's familiar handwriting. It was a diary he had never seen before. The last entry was dated 2 days before she vanished, and it spoke of a secret meeting, a whispered promise, and a terrible fear. He read the words, his heart pounding in his chest, as the silent truth of his daughter's disappearance began to unfold. Part 3. The Secret Poem. Don Manuel's hands trembled as he turned the pages of the diary. The last entry, dated 2 days before Lupita vanished, revealed a disturbing secret. It was a poem, a dark and beautiful poem that spoke of a secret meeting, a whispered promise, and a terrible fear. The words were not those of a happy teenager, but of a scared, desperate girl. He found a photograph of her and her creative writing teacher, Raul, tucked into the back of the diary. He recognized the man, a quiet and serious-looking teacher who had once praised her poetry. The photo, a seemingly innocent portrait, now seemed sinister, a silent testament to a secret life his daughter had been living. The diary, a silent witness to a life cut short, was a painful read. It detailed her growing fear of Raul, his increasingly obsessive behavior, and his strange demands. He had pressured her to join his creative writing club to spend more time with him after school. He had told her that she was special and that he understood her in a way no one else could. The words in the diary painted a picture of a predator, a man who had manipulated a quiet, impressionable girl. Part 4. The Confession. Don Manuel, now with the diary and the photos in hand, went to the police. He presented them with the evidence, and the police, now with a new lead, started a new investigation. They tracked down Raul, who had left the school shortly after Lupita's disappearance and had moved to a nearby town, living a quiet, unremarkable life as a librarian. When confronted by the police, he denied any knowledge of Lupita's disappearance. But the evidence was too strong. The photos, the diary, and the testimony of other students who remembered Raul's strange behavior all pointed to him. Faced with the mountain of evidence, Raul finally confessed. He admitted that he had been obsessed with Lupita, a quiet and talented girl who he saw as his muse. He said that he had lured her to a secluded spot near the school after telling her he had a special gift for her. He had taken her away, telling her they were going to find a place to be free and that they would live like artists. He had kept her for a few days before he realized the gravity of his actions. He had then released her, and she had run away back toward Tepoztlan, but she never made it home. Part 5. The Final Truth. The confession of Raul was a jolt to the quiet town of Tepoztlan. The man who had been a respected teacher was now revealed to be a predator. Raul led the police to a secluded ravine just outside of town, a place he said she had fallen while trying to get away from him. He showed them where he had buried her. Her body was found 5 years after she had disappeared in a shallow grave near the abandoned shack where he had kept her. The truth was a heartbreaking one. Lupita had been alive for a few days after her disappearance, but she had not been able to find her way home. The diary, the poem, and the final confession of Raul were a silent testament to a life cut short, a secret buried for 5 years. The town was left to grapple with the shocking revelation that a man they had trusted was a monster. The story of Lupita Garcia was no longer a mystery. It was a tragedy. Her father, Don Manuel, finally had the answer he had been searching for, but the pain of her loss remained a wound that would never fully heal. The tragic story of Lupita Garcia is a haunting reminder that some mysteries are not solved by detectives, but by the relentless hand of time. It leaves us with a lingering question. If Don Manuel had not found the diary, would the truth of Lupita's disappearance have ever been revealed? If this deep dive into true crime and unsolved mysteries captivates you, please consider subscribing to our channel and hitting that notification bell. Leave a like and share your theories in the comments below. Your support helps us bring more compelling stories to light. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.